All right, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Riceware. I am Brandon Rice, and today we are going to be working on a couple sweatsuits. Something I've never worked on. I've never made sweatpants before. I've made jeans, but not sweatpants. Also never made a hoodie. I'm kind of nervous for that one. Yeah, this is editing Brandon here. That hoodie never happened. I overshot how much fabric I had by a wide margin. But I do have 5 yards of this, nice brown chocolate fleece. Winter is coming up, so I just thought that I want to work with some fleece, want to make some sweatpants, but not only for me, but also for my girlfriend. They will be matching pairs. But yeah, we're gonna see if I can do that. Not if, I will do it. I'm gonna test myself, but I will do it. So let's get into it. Okay, so we have the patterns down. One thing you're gonna notice that these pants are gonna be super huge, which is what I'm going for. I just hope they're not too big. Once I check the measurements out, the waist is about 50 inches around, but when I add the elastic, that is going to shrink to my actual waist. I think I'm gonna make the elastic about 33, because you're supposed to make it a couple inches less than what your waist really is. So I'll make it 32, because my waist is 34, because I'm not a skinny queen yet, but I do need to redo the pockets. The pockets are way too small. I'm gonna make them deeper. But yeah, so these will have a very oversized fit, and then they'll shrink down at the waist. And now I just have to cut out the pattern and we'll go from there. And one thing I'm gonna do to these sweatpants is, if you can see here, I'm gonna have to take the pattern and cut off an area and then sew that together to make the panels, because I don't want these to just be like regular sweatpants. I want them to have at least a seam, because they are all brown. Like, ideally I would have this outside part be a different color, but I only have one color of fleece, so I'm just gonna try that and we're gonna see how that looks. And I think I'm also gonna go for like yellowy gold stitching. I'll have to see like how the colors look on the sweatpants. Okay, so I've gotten all the pattern pieces cut out. This took literally forever. I'm fighting sleep right now, trying my best not to go to sleep. So I'm gonna get this together and still need to figure out what, like, I don't know, like thread I want to use for it. I'm thinking of like a goldish thread, but I'm gonna test them out onto a scrap piece. Okay, so these are kind of the two options. I have this like heavy duty jean thread that I use to top stitch on my jeans, and I have this white top stitch thread. I have more, but these are the only colors that like I'm liking with it. So I think I'm gonna go with this jean thread because it's kind of like a goldish color, and I like the way that it contrasts with the brown. I think white is kind of plain for this. I want like a brown gold contrast, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So if you don't sew, you may not know this, or if you do sew, you don't do this before every project. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take 2 layers of whatever fabric you're working on and kind of do like some test stitches. I tried the gold top stitch, like the jean. It was not, I think it was too thick and it was getting caught in between the fibers of the fleece. So I switched to this Mara 70 thread on the top and Mara 100 on the bottom. Fancy words for medium thin and then thin. But I think this was like a thread tension of a 4 and this was a 3. You want to test out your thread tension just to see, what's gonna work. I can't tell, but since it's pretty thick, I'm just gonna go with a 4 and do that for the whole project, and we'll see how that goes. All right, we have the seam done. The next thing you're gonna see me do is you're gonna see me serge the outside of the seam to kind of just like, so there's not a raw edge going on right here. So this is what the front panels are looking like after meeting those sides together, and it's looking really clean. Like, other than, I don't know if I should top stitch this or not, or if it's worth just leaving it. I kind of like how it is, like that it's noticeable that it's 2 different seams. Messed up a little right there, that's the first panel, whatever. But this is overall the look that I was going for, was that it would be a seam going down the sides and like discernibly 2 different panels. But yeah, now we're gonna do the pockets and then the back. Okay, I'm going back and forth on if I want the back pocket on these sweats. This is kind of like the back pocket that I drafted for my jeans. I don't know, like I have to fold it, and like I don't know if they'll look right with back pockets, or if I do no back pocket. Back pocket. I'm gonna do no back pocket. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I did try them on off camera. They are huge. Like it's literally like 50 inches across. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the elastic, I think my real waist is a 34. I'm gonna make the elastic like 32 inches, maybe even 31. And then I'm gonna add a drawstring on the inside of the waistband to give it that extra snug fit. Like it's gonna be like a balloon fit because they are huge, and then it's just gonna, so. Now for the elastic, I used to be really scared of making elastic just because like when I was a beginner sewist, I couldn't wrap my mind around how they worked. But I'm gonna show y'all that it's not as hard as it seems. So let's get to it. All right, editing Brandon back once again. I don't know why I made it seem like I was going to give you a full in-depth tutorial. I didn't even talk while I was making the waistband. But basically what you're going to see me do is measure out the elastic, cut it to however short I want it. I'm going to sew it together, and then I'm going to fold over my waistband piece. And then basically all you're doing is pinning in like equal distances throughout the waistband that you're going to stretch, because the waistband is going to be smaller, or excuse me, the elastic is going to be smaller than your actual waistband pad. That's how it works, because it has to shrink to the elastic, and then the elastic shrinks to your body. So you're just gonna pin in equal parts, and then you're gonna sew that off, stretching throughout the whole way. If you'd like, let me know in the comments if you want me to give a more in-depth tutorial, because I can. I just didn't in this video for whatever reason, and I'll make a video about it. But back to the video.
Run by cartel. Broken regulations.
And this is the final product. I still need to experiment on the pattern of the sweatpants. I want to experiment with different shapes and different ways that I can get the bottom of the sweatpants to kind of fall over the shoes instead of it engulfing it entirely, like kind of bow in. But yeah, I will be working on 3 more pairs of these because I do have 3 more orders of these sweatpants to do. I might make a video on that because I also want to drop a pattern for these sweats. Let me know down in the comments if that's something that you would like and if that you're interested in. But yeah, these are the sweatpants on my body. These are the sweatpants on my girlfriend's body. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.